Question here that I want to go around the horn on because it is a great question from Kyle. So Kyle said, David Lake, our buddy, one of the best in the business from Inside the Use, was on the Cover 3 podcast with Bud Elliott and said that this is the best Miami roster since he started covering Miami in 2007. What do you think? So I will say, before people go, wow, is that hype? We're talking about 2007, kind of a dark day, dark times for the Canes. So you're not looking at a ton of competition. I would say yes. But before I say yes, I would say the one I would look at as a potential competitor would be 2013, which was the year we started off really hot, and then we ran out of steam towards the end, lost to Florida State. Duke Johnson got hurt. Dallas Crawford took over. D'Onofrio's defense just got revealed as being just horrible. We lost to Duke, I want to say. Had a chance to go to the ACC championship, got blown out by Duke.
Virginia Tech blew us out at home.
Yeah, it was just the defense just kind of collapsed. But if you look at that team, Morris was on an NFL active roster as a quarterback. He was not a bad player. Offensive line, you had multiple pros. I believe you had Chantrell on that team. If I recall, you had Feliciano, you had Brandon Linder. You had Eric Flowers, Isadora. I mean, they were all NFL offensive linemen. Clive Walford was an NFL tight end. Your running back was Duke Johnson, one of your best. You had Alan Hearns and Dorsett. I believe you had both of them at that time. So 2 NFL wide receivers. Coley as a freshman who would go on to the NFL. That's just on offense. Defense was a little lighter, but better than what the production was. D'Onofrio kind of held those guys down. 2013, I believe we had Perryman at that time. Chicolo. We had some Pierre Kumala, some guys that go pro on that side. Deion Bush, Rayshon Jenkins, Artie Burns. Yeah, I mean, that was a good roster. Michael Badgley, I believe, was an NFL kicker. So that was a pretty good. Basically, everybody was in the pros.
Even Calvin the Big Hurt Delu made an NFL roster. As did Kamalu. We had a big guy named Kamalu. He made an NFL roster.
Right.
I would throw that 2016, 2017 team in the mix.
Ooh,
D. Yes. A good amount of defense. Kendrick Norton, Chad Thomas, Jaquan Johnson,
RJ McIntosh,
Sheldrick Redwine. I mean, Michael Jackson was a corner on that team. I mean, you're talking guys who have had, Chris Herndon, who was a 4th round pick. His injuries hurt him. A bit Braxton, who's still in the league.
The running back all went pro.
Even you look at Mark Walton was the running back on that team who was a 4th round pick. Mike Harley, even though he's still he's playing pro football, but one of the better receiver careers of Miami. Really consistent, good college player. Jeff Thomas, the head wasn't on straight, but talent-wise, we're talking about most talented teams. I would throw that team in the mix. I would throw that team in the mix, man. I would.
In terms of this year's team, let me give this caveat. We have not even seen them on Green Tree for fall camp. If the defensive back additions are what we hope, think, and pray they are, and Mohamed Toure can give us a real punch in the middle level of that defense, this has a shot, certainly, to be Mario Cristobal's best roster during his time at UM. I'll just leave it at that.
I agree. I would say what you said about the DBs, which I think they will be that. And then the defensive line, Armando Blunt, Justin Scott, Hayden Lowe, Marquise Lightfoot, your 5-star players.
Yeah.
We know Ruben Bain is going to be good. Messidor is a solid, really good player, college level, with pro potential. But those 4 5-star players, if those 4 5-star players on the defense, maybe they'll have to be All-Americas this year, but they look like 5-star players this year. Yeah. And like you said, I think Frederick's going to be good. He was all freshman All-America. Zechariah Poyser, who you brought from Jacksonville State, was a freshman All-America. If Lucas is what I think he can be, Ethan O'Connor, who people really like, can be what I think he can be. Damari Brown's getting a lot of buzz. He looked good when he came back in spring. Someone I talked to who was not like a Damari Brown homer was saying, hey, this guy's the best corner on the team maybe. So there's a lot of talent there. If those two groups, defensive back, defensive line, and throw Torrey in there at linebacker, who I heard is something we haven't had at position, that all comes together. I would say 100% because the offensive line to me is as good as it gets. You'd have to go back
tight
to
ends.
Tight ends.
We need a young receiver to step up and play to his recruiting ranking. That's the other caveat on the other side of the ball.
Yeah. Jojo Trader, Malachi Tony, and then CJ Daniels. Can he be the guy that was at Liberty, which I heard he could be, but That's something that we need to see. But I do think overall, because you have the portal now, like you were talking about earlier, and Pete, you made a great point. Obviously, coming from the legendary Butch Davis, is you got to evaluate in the portal too. Now, think about Jaden Daniels, right? Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix at quarterback. We think of them now. Okay, Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix were 5-star players, right? Out of high school. They were not 5-star transfers.
Yeah.
There were transfers that not the big teams were not running to those guys.
Dude, I remember, this is an anecdote, but I was recruiting Anthony Schwartz at Auburn, and I was at an Auburn game, Auburn, South Carolina. It was a terrible loss. It was at South Carolina. And seeing Patrick Nix waiting for Bo Nix, the Auburn fans were, they were going after him all game. They hated him. The way that Miami fans talked about, TVD near the end of his time here, and like, they did not want him there whatsoever. And then seeing what it's turned into, just show, one man's trash, another man's treasure. That's the saying, right? And you got to be able to see what went wrong in a certain situation and say, if I get this player in our culture, in our system, it's going to be a different story altogether.
By the way, Bo Nix, first game, I believe, beat a very highly ranked Oregon team coached by Mario Cristobal.
There you go.
It was one of those week one big matchups. I think that was at the Cowboys Stadium. Hey, guys, I got to go in about 10 minutes. Let's get to the 2002 class.
Sorry, man. It's so hard, man. You get rolling, man. We can go all day. I didn't even look at the clock.
I'm gonna zip up for this part because this is I'll let you two shine here. Yeah, I was 8. I was a little older than that, but yeah.
All right. So thank you, Steve.